I'm not charging you guys any labor. It allows me to continue along the lines of trying to be of service on my channel, trying to teach the younger generation that being of service is just so incredibly rewarding.
Thanks again, man.
Of course.
Appreciate you so much.
Thanks for trusting me with it.
Glad
I can help you guys out.
Appreciate it so much.
One of the scariest components to fail on you while driving, a front wheel bearing. If the bearing seizes, it can lock up and pull you across the highway while you're driving. Or if the bearing separates completely, the wheel and the hub can come completely off of the car. So when Justin, the pastor of my church, reached out to me for some advice, he said, Alec, I got this estimate for like $1,000 for front wheel bearings. What do you think I should do? I said, bring it over to my shop. I can do it for you for cheaper. Now this is a 2007 Toyota Highlander hybrid all-wheel drive with the 3.3 liter V8 in it. Now the wheel bearing repair on this car calls for pressing out the old bearing out of the knuckle and pressing the new one in. But that means we have to remove the knuckle, we also have to put a slide hammer on the hub, get that pulled off, then we have to separate the outside bearing race from the hub. We also have to make sure we have the right cups to press the new wheel bearing in. So I decided to go with a full knuckle replacement on both sides. The hub's already installed, the wheel bearing's already installed. All we have to do is pull the axle, unbolt the old knuckle, put this one in, torque it all back up. How hard could it be? And since the calipers and the brakes have to come off for this job, I got a full set of power stop brake pads, as well as 2 new front rotors. So grab a cold beverage, sit back, relax, and let's see if a BMW technician can learn how to do wheel bearings and front knuckles on a Toyota Highlander. Now a local shop did diagnose and create this estimate, so I'm taking their diagnosis at face value. I did spin the front wheels, and this one doesn't sound too bad. It is a little growly, but it might be differential noise. I wasn't able to feel any play up and down either. This one, way crunchy, super crunchy. You can hear that bearing just crunching in there as you spin it. That's definitely not brake noise. See if you can hear it without me yapping. Oh, it's a good thing I ordered brakes too. These things are almost metal to metal. There's like no meat left on there. I'm gonna stick a pry bar in there, see if I can compress the piston a little bit. I got the car in neutral so we can rotate the knuckle without the steering locking up. All right, let's start by pulling off this caliper. 2 17mm bolts to get the caliper bracket off. Look at that outside brake pad. I am so glad I ordered brakes. That would have been terrible to have to put these back on there. That thing is like 1/2 millimeter. Inside brake pad's got a little bit more meat, but still almost metal to metal. There's our bracket. Now we're left with just the caliper. I'm just gonna find a place to bungee cord zip tie this thing up and out of the way. That should be good. So to get this knuckle removed, we gotta pull the tie rod, we gotta pull these 2 bolts that attach it to the strut, we have to pull the axle out of the hub, and we have to pull this lower ball joint from the lower control arm and get that out of there, but we can't get access to that ball joint nut until the axle's out. Let's start with getting this rotor removed. It's got some threaded female ports here so you can put bolts in to press it off, but since we're not reusing this rotor, we can just hit it off. There we go. Not feeling anything in and out or up and down. Okay, I better see if I have a socket to fit on there. I don't know if I do. So the 32 is sloppy and I'm definitely not gonna strip that out. That'll be bad news bears. So let's go to the store first because I wanna tackle this axle. This thing might fight me the most out of everything. And yeah, so what we'll do, let's compare it to the new axle nut that came with the knuckles. Make sure that thread's on nice. And as long as this is sloppy, yeah, we'll take this up the street to the hardware store, find a socket that'll match it. Other than that, I don't think we'll need any other specialty tools. Everything else looks pretty straightforward. Just got back from O'Reilly Auto Parts up the street. Got an OEM Tools 30mm 12-point 1/2-inch impact socket deep. It was $25 flat with California sales tax. Cross your fingers for me that this axle nut comes off and this axle just pops right out of the hub. Oh, those threads look terrible. Why'd they do that? There's nothing I could do to make it come off easier. Just wanted to wipe the threads, but I'll be okay. The threads way back here are still good, and I can take a thread file and clean those up. So this back on real quick. Yeah, that'll be okay. Air hammer time. Let's see if we can knock this axle out a little bit. Yeah. Get out of there, baby. Now we got the hard part done. We know that axle's not gonna fight us. So now let's do tie rod and then we'll get the wheel speed sensor out of there. Now I gotta get this cotter pin out. I think I got cotter pins. There we go. And then you look like you're very small, like a 16. 17. 17 it is. 16, too little. Boom. Easy peasy. Throw this nut on there like that. Protect the threads. Switch over to my air hamster. Boom. Tie rod is out. We are going to have to align the car after this. Anytime you replace knuckle, remove tie rod, separate all this from the strut, it's gonna throw off the alignment. So we will have to align the car. Okay, what's next? Let's do this little wheel speed sensor. See if we can rotate like that. You look like a little 10 millimeter. Oh yeah, light work, baby. These usually get stuck in BMWs so well. Doesn't look like there's any O-rings in there that got stuck too. So that all looks good. There's this bracket that needs to come off. That attaches wheel speed sensor to the knuckle. Fold that out of the way. Now we gotta get these big old monster bolts out of here, and then we should be able to fold this down, flop the axle out of the way, and that'll give us access to get our ball joint nut out, and then we'll whack that with the air hammer. I'm gonna try to keep the axle in the car so I don't have to pull it out of the differential, because there's a bearing in there that helps support the axle. I don't wanna have to go remove that. So let's do these big honkers next. Now, I didn't look up repair instructions. I'm just winging it because it's kind of fun that way. Also, I just get to test my skills. Got a 22 millimeter nut, 22 millimeter bolt. Stick our combination wrench on the bolt side. You better come out, buddy. Yeah, it's time for a new impact gun, guys. So, if anybody out there is watching and you work for a company that supplies impact guns, and if you'd like to collaborate, holler at your boy, because I don't work with anybody that makes impact guns, and it would be cool to represent somebody on the channel. That goes for all you guys. If you're a business owner and if you got a cool product, and if you want to maybe do some sponsorships or collaborations on YouTube or Instagram, and if you'd like to work together, if you think I'd be a good representation of your brand, shoot me an email at dayoffdiy@gmail.com. or drop a comment down below, because I'd like to work with some more companies, people who I believe in, who I trust, who I like their products, and we'll let all the other viewers of the channel know about you guys. Okay, those are off. See if we can wiggle this axle out. Almost. Sir, I really don't want to have to pull this axle completely, so please work with me. There we go. And now, let me try to turn this so you guys can have a better angle than me, because I'll do that for you. Now we got our ball joint. That's a tasty angle for you right there. I always try to get you guys the best angles that I can. With this new 2-post lift, I'm really able to step my game up. It's all for you guys, the viewers. I want you to have a good time enjoying this content. I try. Get out of there, Mr. Cotterpin. You ain't welcome here. Cotter pin is out. And what size nut are you? I'm gonna guess 19. Nah, that ain't gonna work. We need an extension and a Harbor Freight 1/2-inch wobble socket. Boom. Throw that nut back down on there. Switch over to the air hamster. Boom. Man, gotta love an air hammer. They work. And just put the nut on so you don't damage the threads. And come on, Mr. Knuckle. Oh, that heat shield. You telling me I gotta take this heat shield off? No, I don't. I might have to for the reinstallation though. We got the knuckle out, guys. First knuckle. Listen to this thing. Sounds absolutely terrible. Okay, new knuckle. Let's just look and compare a little bit, right? Let's do a little cross comparison. Make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. We got our wheel speed sensor port there. We got our threads for the bolt. We got ball joint. We got brake caliper. This looks good. Tie rod looks good. Again, one more time. I'm gonna do a little spinny spin for you. Basura, terrible. New knuckle. Oh yeah, butter. Buttery smooth. Now I might have to remove this heat shield to put it in, but let's try doing it without that first. Might be able to get that ball joint angle just right. Now it's important that we follow the same procedure. Ball joint, then axle, then strut, then tie rod, then rotor, then brake, and throw the wheel speed sensor in there somewhere. Let's hope that everything fits. Oh yeah, I didn't have to take off the heat shield. All right. Now it's time for ball joint nut. What's gonna be hard is torquing this thing to spec. I'm gonna have to look up a ball joint torque spec and I'm gonna run it down with the impact, but yeah, it's gonna be a challenge. If you guys weren't watching, I would probably just rip this down with the impact, throw a cotter pin in it and call it a day. But because you're watching, I'm gonna look up the torque spec. I'm gonna try to torque it to spec. Okay, interweb says 94 foot-pounds, or if the castle nut hole doesn't line up for the cotter pin, keep going until you get the cotter pin lined up. So I'll try to do 94 and then I'll hit it with some ugga-duggas until it lines up. But it's gonna be so hard to hold it. Oh, I gotta clean up the threads on the axle too. I should have done that with the knuckle removed. Decisions. What do I do? We're not too far along. Let's pull it back off. Okay, now that that's off, I gotta get my thread file kit. Gotta clean up these axle threads a little bit. This is my thread file set. It is a good one. What you do is you pull these little sticks out and it's got a 14, a 6, a 1.25. It's got more on the back sides too, like a 2.0, all different types of threads, right? So we go to the axle and we find what thread pitch it is. It's gonna be a metric. 1.5 is right on the money. Safety glasses. All that matters is that we can get our new nut past this part, because back here is where it's actually truly going to bite against the hub. So like, as long as this part doesn't wipe out the threads on our nut, that's what's most important. I'm gonna have to go at this with like an angled file. I'm just gonna take this little triangular file, work it down into some of these spots that look a little worse than others. Hi, puppy. Hi, come here. Hello. What do you think of this thing? Can you fix that for me? You think you can fix that? Because this thing sucks, dude. Oh, you bumped your head. This thing sucks, dude. I think that's good enough to rip it on with an impact. I think it's good enough to send it. Boy, I don't want to spend 2 hours on this thing. Boy, I hope the other side doesn't do this to me, huh? Because once we get there, we're Gucci. We Gucci. We Amerigo Vespucci Gucci. This is a freaking arm workout, dude. I'm doing this for you, Justin. All right, that's good enough, and she's nice and greased, and the nut looks great. Okay, before we continue, let's just scrub out these splines. Dang, dude, probably used so much battery just cleaning up these threads, but we did a good job. We're trying to save Justin and Heidi some money, because the more money we can save them, the more money they got to run a church. Hopefully, I already hit the 94 because I don't have much room to put that cotter pin in. It's pretty perfect right now. This is a tough one to torque. Guys, this is so tough. Got it. Woo! I got myself a cotter pin. Hi, Sage. What's up, little baby? Who's the best dog on YouTube? You are. Pin is collared. Okay, play nice, Axel. Oh yeah, that sucker just seated in nice. Let's just take a second and acknowledge all the carnage out here. Good thing I got some nice peaceful Frank Sinatra in my ears to keep the blood pressure low while we do this job. Let's get one of these bolts in here if we can. Sort of just hold things together for a second. Nice. We'll be able to suck the rest of that axle in with the nut. That's pretty good for the nut. It's pretty good. I gotta find the torque specs for these strut bolts. I need some new gloves too. 55 foot-pounds for Knuckle 2 front strut. Probably already did that with the impact gun. Throw a little extra. Won't hurt nothing. Need an extension. Now our little wheel speed sensor. Wheel speed sensor, good and tight. Tie rod time. You guys enjoying this video? If you are, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm currently restoring a BMW to give it away for free when I'm done with the restoration. But in order to win, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. So if you like the content, or if you wanna support me on this content creation journey and help me keep doing this full time, I don't want your money. I just want a click of a button and you guys can win a car for completely free. I'll put the giveaway playlist in the description. Time to pin the cotter. All right, let's snug this up. We're gonna have to do these axle nut torques at the very end because, well, I could do it. I could hold this hub from spinning, but I bet it's gonna be super heavy torque. Let's just get this axle sucked in first. I'm just grateful that we were able to save this axle. Let's look up the torque spec, see if we can do it with the wheel off. 217 foot-pounds. That's a lot. That's like crank hub lot. I got some ideas on how to do it. It ain't gonna be easy. First, let's put these on. That's a lot of force. I don't even know if my torque wrench goes up to that. Now, these Toyotas are pretty prone to wheel bearing failure. I've seen videos of some other like Toyota Sequoias and 4Runners and other trucks that, you know, the wheel bearings just fail. So I think it's a pretty common wear item on Toyotas. So it's really important that we do this properly. We don't want to cause premature failure because it kind of preloads the bearing. Let's see how high we can get. What'd I say, 217? Come on, baby. Oh my gosh, this thing is literally almost maxed out at 217. All right, I got an idea. Sometimes we gotta get a little creative. This is my big dog. And so we're gonna be turning this direction. So we might be able to get it. There we go. You like that little lug nut pry bar trick there? Huh? Save that one in your toolbox. That might help you out in the future. Put the lug nuts on though so you protect the studs. Let's go. Give me some knucks. Let's go. There's no way I could have done this job yesterday. 2 days ago I went to a concert. I had one too many seltzers that night and paid the price yesterday. Had to take a full day off work. Not doing that again. It sucked. Now what we need to do is do brakes. What I need to do is clean up this caliper bracket because we got to pull this hardware out, put in new hardware, give it a little scrub with the brush. Let's go do that next. I've never used Power Stop before, but I bought it all from Rock Auto and they came with really good reviews. Everybody says they loved them. I looked them up online. So we're gonna give the old Power Stops a try today. Oh, a little maybe wear pad sensor. I like to do these one at a time so I can double check positioning. That looks spot on. Even though they have hardware kits, I still like to give them a scrub. Nice. You can tell right here too, that's where the pad was rubbing. So right there and right there is where we should grease. Tell you what, I don't miss doing 2, 3, 4 brake jobs a day at the shop and having black boogers all day. Don't miss that one bit. I think these will be good. Maybe we'll wipe down and grease the guide pins. We'll see. Let's go look at the caliper. Pins look okay. Maybe I'll throw a little seal glide on them. We need to compress this. We could use our Knipex Monster Cobras. Pins look good. I don't feel the need to have to do much to them. We'll just throw on some fresh pure nickel special. BMWs, I don't use any grease, but it's a Toyota and I'm not sure whether it wants it or not. So we'll apply a little bit just in case. Tell you what, this stuff, anti-seize, this is the herpes of the automotive world. You get it on you, it's on you for life. This pin's a little askew, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, and what's next? Bracket. I don't know if there's an inside and outside pad, so I like to save them so we can compare. The brackets weren't different and they look pretty dang identical. This inside pad has the screecher and it should be on the top. That way when the rotor touches it, it pushes it down, it doesn't pull it out, and it's on that little bottom corner. Other than that, these pads look exactly the same and there's positions on both pads for the squeaker. So that's confirmed. I just watched a YouTube video about that the other day and I learned that the wear sensor, that little wear squeaker, is supposed to be in a specific spot. It's supposed to be at the top on the front and then the bottom for the back. So the bottom catches it as it's rotating up, front catches it as it's rotating down. But it only came with one squeaker. So that's gonna go on like that, and it needs to be on the top. Doesn't wanna stay on there very good. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can install this my BMW way. It might not work, but let's try. So I put these on and slide the bracket up till I can get access to here. But I also want to grease. It was that part. This is the part that really rubs on that hardware kit. So I'm just gonna put a little dabble do ya on that brake pad there. This is the stuff I'm using. It's actually from the old shop I used to work at. You can tell it's quite old. Bostik Never Seize, anti-seize and lubricating compound, pure nickel special. Protects parts up to 2400 degrees. That's hot. No, don't push the hardware bracket out. I want you flush. Oh, it's okay. But do those flaps need to be down? I don't know. I need to examine the old ones. I think these clips need to be compressed. Yeah. That looks good. I'll confirm on the other side as I take it apart, just to make sure. Worst comes to worst, I can come over here and pull the brakes back off. These boots need to seal, so I pop those off. This goes back. And this pad needs to seat. Why you no wanna go? There is a difference in the clips. There is. The brake hardware kits are different. I need to go look at the video. Okay, luckily I accidentally did it the right way, but this one has a folded over lip. This one is straight. Luckily I replaced the folded over lip with folded over lip. I just gotta take a pocket screwdriver and tuck it in. Okay, now we gotta see if it fits on the rotor. Rotor time! Okay, now this is a coated rotor. Coated rotors I never clean with brake cleaner because it causes the coating to become gooey. And then all that gooey coating rubs off right onto your brake pad. It'll foul your brake pad. So uncoated rotors, I spray with brake cleaner and I wipe down. Coated, no touch. Throw a lug nut on there to keep the rotor flush. Did I compress it enough? Come on, don't make me take this caliper back apart. Okay, fine, I'll take it apart. 14? Nailed it. I'm good sometimes like that. Well, we're almost done with one side. Let's try it the other way. Tell you what, this knuckle, all the hardware, everything's lining up real nice. So far, so good. Gosh, this car's making me feel stupid. Anytime I do brakes, I like to look inside here and make sure that the pad isn't coming too far towards the hub. I also look here and make sure that the pad isn't hanging off the outside of the rotor, which you can see there's a little lip, so that is perfect. Man, I desperately gotta clean up this shop after we're done with this side because it is getting hard to work. All right, we'll see if we need to compress the piston anymore. I think we can go a little bit more. That's probably why it was fighting me the other way. 0.5 millimeter more. Okay, we need to torque those 18s as well. Man, I'm so happy I ordered brakes. So I don't have to go up the street and use garbage O'Reilly or AutoZone parts. Okay, it says 17 for the brakes. 17 and 14. Tell you what, these pistons are a lot harder to compress than BMW pistons. Sick! Let's put this wheel on and call this side done, huh? These are torqued 55, ball joints torqued 94, tie rod ends torqued 35, axle nuts torqued 217, brakes are torqued good and tight, wheel speed sensors torqued good and tight. Let's get this sticker off. This might make the wheel out of balance. Just kidding, it's too thin. As far as parts cost, the quote was about $950 for 2 front wheel bearings, parts, labor, and alignment. I got both of these knuckles for $130 and $160, so roughly about $300 for the knuckles, then another $140, $150-ish for the brake kit. So we're at about $450 on parts. We're still gonna have to pay for alignment, which will be about $135. So $450 plus $135 will be just shy of $600. I'm gonna charge $0 on labor, so I'm gonna technically do this job for them for free. They're just gonna have to pay for parts and alignment, and that's a win. So if you ever see me in these situations about fixing people's cars for free, I wish I had YouTube money, but one day we'll have YouTube money and we'll be able to pay for parts for people. But this time, just supplying labor, still saving them several $100 though. Boom, baby! Let's go. One side down. All right, this side should go a lot faster because I already know what I gotta do. I got a cheesesteak on the way and Sage needs dinner soon, so let's get cracking. Biggest factor is the axle gonna strip out like the other side? I really hope not. This axle nut is slightly indented. I don't want that to damage the threads. I don't want to break a screwdriver. It'll be okay. Just see if we can. Nah, we'll just rip it off. Stupid cotter pin. See if I can break that cotter pin with the impact gun. Stupid cotter pin, man. It's buried. Let's give this one a listen. Oh yeah. Smoked. Let's test fit the axle nut. Looks pretty good. It's one little problem spot, but give this thing a speed cleanup. I gotta rip it with the impact to get the cotter pin lined up. Dinner's here. I'm gonna go eat a Philly cheesesteak and feed Sage and we'll finish up. I just power slammed that cheesesteak. Let's wrap this thing up, huh? I gotta align it still, but I'll do that mañana. So this is snugged with the impact gun. This is torqued to 35 and cotter pinned. These are torqued to 55. This is torqued to 94. Next step, let's throw this wheel speed sensor in. Okay, now it's time to torque this sucker up. 217. I'm just putting these on to protect the wheel studs. That way if the pry bar slips, we don't have to file any more threads. I got it to click once. That's confirmed. I don't want that pry bar to slip. That sucker's torqued. All right, what's next? Rotor, caliper bracket. Gotta love brand new parts, brand new knuckle. This is nice. I'm honestly quite glad I did these knuckles this way. I think it would have been a lot more work to press out that wheel bearing. Okay, next step. Let's get this little sticker off here since I pulled it on the other side. Let's take this caliper bracket over to the bench, swap out hardware. Yeah, they gotta go in from the outsides because they push those tabs down, so. Oh boy, I hope I installed them right on this side. Yeah, they're all installed correctly on that side. Don't mix up the hardware. Okay, that done. Boom, baby! Let's get this wheel put on. I didn't want to jinx it while I was putting together that driver's side, but this job went surprisingly smooth. Besides the threads on the axle getting all stripped and blown out, like, it wasn't too bad. I'd say in total, it took me about 4 hours. My pastor, Justin, he's out of town for the rest of the week, so I'm gonna go take this car to the alignment shop tomorrow. It's already dark out, and I know it's gonna need an alignment because it's got brand new knuckles and we removed the tie rod and ball joint and all that stuff. So it definitely needs an alignment, but I think I'm gonna road test it tomorrow during the day and then we'll do an alignment. You know, we're full service around here. We gotta do tires. Nobody leaves the shop without tire pressure. Let's check under the hood and do fluids, then we'll drive it. Hopefully try to get an alignment done tomorrow. There we go. Whoa, it's a hybrid. Not seeing any coolant in the reservoir. We got some fuzz on the battery terminal. Brake fluid's a touch full after doing the brake job, but that's okay. This looks like pink Toyota coolant. If that's coolant, then, and this is coolant. Yeah, that's coolant. Got 2 coolant expansion tanks, that's funny. Now we got some fluid. Oh, this little garden bucket's so hard to pour out of. All right, now we're at the full mark. Not low enough to suspect a leak. I didn't see anything underneath the vehicle. Let's check the Earl. Engine Earl looks good. Brake fluid's good. Coolant's good. Oil's good. Any power steering fluid in this thing? Probably not, maybe it's electric. That's a big air filter box. Washer. Perfect amount in the jug. Perfect amount. Before I forget, let's torque these up. That's it for tonight. I'll see you in the morning for the road test. Good morning, you beautiful people. What? I killed the battery? It must have drained while I had it in neutral. I was about to take this thing on a road test. First thing I gotta do, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes, folks, pump the brakes. No, I gotta throw a jumper on this thing real quick. Dang it! It's a hybrid too, but you know, there's a little starter battery, so. Whoa, dude, this thing is like dead. I'm gonna have to put some real jumper cables on this thing. Do I even have my jumper cables here? I think they might be in my truck. Shoot! All right, let me figure this out. The booster pack was just a little bit of a loose connection. We gotta replace this battery and clean that terminal. Okay, because it's hybrid, so now it should roll. Okay, we're good. Let's just go neutral. Booster pack is DC'd. Hopefully we got enough juice to stay in hybrid mode. There we go, let's go. All right, so I put a good couple miles on the car, maybe about 8 miles or so, but I really wanna make sure this battery's fully charged up. I'm gonna go down to the Toyota dealership. I'm currently in the middle of doing cylinder heads and full head job and head gaskets on my brother's 2002 Toyota Tundra. It's the 4.7 liter iForce V8, the 2UZ FE, and all the exhaust manifold studs and nuts were rusted out, and so I called and did a special order down at the Toyota dealership. It's about maybe 10 to 12 miles south, so I'm gonna go rip down there and pick those parts up and cruise back, and that should be plenty of time to have this battery charged back up. So cue the time lapse. Ooh, look at all these new cars. Tell you what, none of these new cars are made like the old ones were. We got brand new Toyotas wiping out crankshafts and camshafts, and brand new GMCs are on stop sale for catastrophic engine failure. I would not want to buy or finance a new car right now. I hope this thing starts back up. It should. I'm gonna go in and get some parts. I'll see you guys in a sec. Package secured. 16 exhaust manifold nuts, 16 exhaust manifold studs, $216. Man, we've been doing a lot of Toyota work. Let's get home. Maybe find some lunch on the way. I'm gonna go get me a sandwich. I'll meet you guys back at home. You've seen enough driving for today. Boom. Done. Well, gang, super successful road test. The ultimate goal is to get some shots when Justin and Heidi come pick up the car. I can show them the brake pad life, show them the wheel bearings, and we'll finish it out then. I got a sandwich to go attend to. I'll catch you guys when they come to pick up the Toyota. What's up? What's up? Yo, yo. Justin and Heidi are on their way to pick up the Highlander, and I want to reset this maintenance light for them. There we go. Hey, we got it. Look at them shiny new rotors and pads. What's up, gang?
How are ya?
Good.
Cool, man.
Great job this morning.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Family Feud was fun. Everybody was laughing. Hi, good to see ya.
Hey, good to see you too. Thanks so much for all your help with
Of course.
I know, dude.
She's all good. I got the maintenance light reset just before you guys showed up too.
Awesome.
So I just did it through the odometer button. You can see we got shiny new rotors
Oh my goodness.
on there.
So
New brake pads too. And I'll show you guys kind of the knuckle that I replaced so you guys can get an idea of it.
Yeah. Sweet.
These are the knuckles. So
Whoa.
sort of like we were talking about, this is the rear wheel bearing, and you can see that this is your hub that the wheel mounts up to, and then this right here is where your brake caliper bolts up to. And so that noise you were hearing was that bearing.
Oh, yeah.
And so the brand new ones were whisper quiet, just buttery smooth. And this one is equally as bad. And then this is an example of one of your brake pads. So like that little lip right there is all that's left. So maybe less than a millimeter. And a brand new brake pad is 14 millimeters.
Crazy.
Yeah, so 28 times.
Yeah.
28 times that width. But other than that, yeah, everything else went good. The two knuckles, parts cost wise, came out to about 400. And then the brake kit was about 150. And then tax and shipping, all that, I just figured rounded up to a nice even number, 600.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad, like I told you guys this morning at church, I'm glad we were able to do the brakes, because if Les Schwab were to have taken it apart, you would have gotten a phone call for an additional brake add-on from them. And it would have taken a $1,000 bill up to 17. And, you know,
Yeah.
Just stings a little bit more, but yeah, the car is absolutely whisper quiet now, so I don't expect it to give you any issues.
So cool.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
dude.
Glad I could help you guys out. You
Bro.
guys are of service
so
to us,
much.
and
Man.
I just had dinner with Evan and Sarah last night, and just talking about how welcoming you guys have been with branches, you know, going out to dinner with them and taking me out to coffee when I first showed interest. I was telling Sarah, I was like, what is Justin doing texting me, asking me out to coffee? Doesn't he have better things to be doing with his time? You know, doesn't he have other church duties to get to, you know?
But
But
what we do,
Like I
yeah, we
totally
love
agree.
this.
yeah, so yeah, we're in
Yeah.
good shape. I don't expect anything to come up with the vehicle. I looked it over too, and
you.
everything seems solid.
Yeah.
All the wheels are torqued. Everything was torqued to spec. Cotter pins were put back all in where cotter pins were removed, and I made sure to do it by the book. But yeah,
So
you guys
cool.
can let me know if anything else comes up in the future. I don't expect anything to come up with this issue or the brakes, but
Okay.
you guys keep me posted.
Cool.
Let me know.
Yep.
For you.
Yeah, what
Like that's all
about...
parts.
I'm not charging you guys any labor.
No, but
Hopefully, if the
you?
video does well, I can
Yeah.
make some money from YouTube, and it also gives me an opportunity to be able to support you guys, because the more money you can save, the better branches can do financially. And also it allows me to continue along the lines of trying to be of service on my channel. I try to do jobs for people for free and just charge them parts. And you know, my channel, besides just being automotive repair, I really try to set an example of trying to teach the younger generation that being of service is just so incredibly rewarding and giving back. And so that's why I'm doing this giveaway series and try to do BMW repairs and have sponsors cover labor costs when I can.
Yeah.
And just try to, you know, pay it forward. And I think it's really working. I've gotten a lot of comments and a lot of people that have really tried to step it up in their own lives and their own communities and things. So don't worry about it. I just want to be able to support you guys.
thanks,
so much. That was a huge
Again, man.
Of course.
Appreciate you so much.
Thanks for trusting me with it.
Thanks
Glad I
so
could
much.
glad I can help you guys out.
Appreciate it so much.
Yes.
All right. Well, safe travels, and
man.
if I don't see you, I'll see you Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
good.
Have a good Sunday.
Thanks so much.
Well, gang, that's a wrap. Need I say more? I think everything was covered in regards to the hazards and the dangers of wheel bearing failures. Also how I want to be of service and to be able to give back through this channel and not just be an informational, how to do this repair and how to do that. I have bigger dreams and I have bigger aspirations than that. And just to have this outlet and to have this source of media, and I can share my character, my values, my personality with you guys, and the fact that you guys want to watch. It just means the absolute world to me. So thank you for your support. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far in the video. I got lots of other content coming soon, and I got the giveaway series in full effect. So playlist link for that will be in the description down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for future content and to win the giveaway car. I hope you enjoyed, or I hope you learned something new. And as always, folks, I'll see you on my next day off. Cheers.